Okay, we're on. Jessica. She says, tell him about the perfume. Okay, today she picked, it's Bath and Body Works makes it. It's Hawaii Passion Fruit Kiss. And she wanted me to, let you know that's what she's put on for the occasion, she says. She's saying, I have waited for this. Hold on, I'm going to put you on pause real quick. Put some lotion on my hands. Sorry, guys. Okay, go ahead. She says, this is my greatest wish. She said, I had not worried for this. She's saying because eventually you would have received from her, Dustin, because of your sis, no matter what. She's just like this. She's so excited about it. She's like, for this, I'm super excited for this. She's saying, it is my homecoming where I get to be before you two, meaning you and your sister Haley. She says, I reached for you. Hold on. She says, I reached for you. Go ahead. Trying to get this done through, made for you. Because you're not discluded in how much I love you. You gave me your own son. And for your life, I will always honor you. She says you are a glowing ghost. What she means is she's the Holy Ghost. She means that your spirit, the spirit within you, it is very it glows. She says her eye is not shy of finding you. She says his light has always glown. She says and if she could, she would keep it like for all her own. She knows that that's not gonna happen, but she's saying she is pitying herself for not being able to have you all to her own. That could hurt a wife's feelings, you know. Before he was grown, I held him. For at the time, he was all my own. Those days for me, for my arms couldn't have been brighter. These lights are bothering me. I'm going to try to turn one out. I hope that's okay. That one's not the one. Jessica, go ahead. I'm sorry. She says, in my heart, I always felt you beside me. through the good times and even through hell, I felt always you would be there beside me. And for that, you never failed. I loved being, go ahead, your mom. And I loved knowing your, go ahead. And I loved and honored you, knowing you were there, the way that I felt, the way that it felt, having you there. She says, I was warmed like the sun for your nearness of me. Sun. My love spirit. I feel like, I feel really claustrophobic right now, like I can't breathe. So I'm going to put you on pause and try to breathe it out. Breathe it out. Hold on. She's saying, go ahead. She says, you feel you can't breathe because what I'm bringing weighs a ton. My love that I'm bringing does weigh a ton. It is. It's heavy. Usually you're so light for me. She's saying, in the winter's light, we will see spring. In other words, let's get through this and we'll get to that. You're really overwhelming me right now. I'm not feeling good. She says, when you feel your chest cave in, like it's caving in, it's for my trying to, she says, like the penny slot, squeeze it all in. She's saying for the availability of me to come in, she says, is such a rare gem. She's saying a once in a lifetime, and she doesn't want to leave any screws loose by the end of this. And so she's like, yeah, she's trying to get it all in. And yet she knows I'm only human. She's saying right now to Dustin, she's saying, we aren't human outside of our skin. And yet we know from where we are above when we arrive that the human is our kin. I don't. Dustin is adjusted to identify. And it is for his own eye. She's saying she well trusts and relies on. That he will have his own naming of his own stars in the sky regarding what I say, what I bring for him. We are kin, Dustin. Kin beyond mother and son in the human skin. Go ahead. It is as the Holy Ghost that we know, meaning the one that they speak of in the Bible, or the Holy Ghost. It is for us to find ourselves as Holy Ghosts. She's saying with the most. She's saying garland. She wants me to put a garland on you. And and then she's pointing me to my perfume because it says Hawaii Passion Fruit Kiss. She says the garland. It is never going to be. Are you saying it's something he'll never miss? She's saying, as sure as my kiss. The garland he won't miss. Whatever that means. Like, go ahead. She's saying he resides. She's saying my son resides. Although amongst his sis, in his own shell, with his own roots, with his own feelings and understandings of this. Go ahead. See, Dustin, before I sat down to do this, I had resonated, or what do you call it? Yeah, I've connected with your mom, and or at least opened up to her, and she throws a few things at me. Resonance, she's saying, the resonance is everywhere. But so she was throwing me things like, the first thing, if it wasn't her, somebody in that's passed was saying undergrad. So I had to ask Google or Gemini, what is an undergrad? That's somebody that's still in school that hasn't graduated. But then I asked your wife if you were in school. But she's throwing me all kinds of things. She's trying to put all those pennies in. Actually, she is putting all those pennies in at once. It makes it impossible for me to receive. Go ahead, Jessica. Go ahead. We are in our ends. She's showing me the fibers, the fray, like if you had like a thread and it split at the ends, like you know how it frays at the ends. She's saying, okay, and that's exactly how my uncle came in for my aunt. He was saying the thread of our lives, like this, right? And the frayed end is like right here. So when our lives end, this is the past, this is our whole history. She's saying there's so much more to that. What you see as a frayed end, the thread just begins there. Like it doesn't end, it begins there. And it keeps going. She's saying, in time, son, you will receive what I'm telling you. When you need a friend. She says that We do fray the ends of the thread, son. But it doesn't mean that we're dead. The thread is long. She's saying that we survive outside these bodies, and that we go on and on and on and on. And she's... Go ahead. She's trying to carry it gently for your ears hearing the song. She doesn't... In other words, Dustin, what I know about you, I've never met you, is that you're very, very strong. You're stubborn. You're solid in your in your own essence, in your own understanding of what, meaning you can't just break through in a day. And she says, I can't give him a false presence. Go ahead. A false presence he won't receive from me. She's showing me under the Christmas tree. But presence and presence, he knows what I mean. I am honored in being given this gift. Not once, not twice, but thrice. She's saying, for my son catching a view of his mother upon my being here for his eye. Like she's saying, like I said, it for it to happen once is, she's saying, awfully amazing. And she's not going to come forward as if this will be given twice. So what she's saying is, I've got a stubborn son, and he's got his own thoughts tightly in his own vice. And for it, she's saying, there is a lot I want to say. And she's reminding me of that weight that I was feeling so badly. She says it will always be tons and tons of weight when I'm brought before my son in telling him. Go ahead. No, she's saying, and telling him that life's too short to wait. She says, I hadn't realized of what the amount was on my plate, of how much time, she's turning her plate into a clock, of how much time had been portioned upon it in waiting for something, in the pie graph, the light green that takes up almost a quarter of the plate. She's saying that is when we wait. Go ahead. We wait for nothing, she says, when the clock ends. For we realize that the plate or the clock never ends. Nor does the room on the plate end. She's saying from spirit, she's acting as your friend. When she says tip your plate of any thing that brings you to have to wait. Like she's scraping it into the garbage can, waiting for something. Is she's saying it's a dead end. She's saying, as your friend, she for some reason she's not coming in as your mother. She really wants to speculate as your friend. She's telling you, don't wait for anything. Don't wait for anything to start, and don't wait for anything to end. She's saying, please deliver upon you now. She's saying, like a flower lay and a bow. I don't know. Your mind's knowing of the winding of a clock. She's saying she's telling, go ahead. I want my son. Go ahead. There's so much emotion going on right now. If I could only explain. It's overwhelming. She doesn't want... I am telling my son, as one of his brightest friends, meaning, what she's meaning is she's wise. Wise beyond what she ever was here. She's like, I am wise to every star in the sky. And it's why my need is to bring forward as his friend a subject for his own mind. She's saying to unwind and eject. What is it that you don't want him thinking that he's thinking? I guess that's what she means. She doesn't want you to see the candle as burning at one end. She wants you to know that both ends burn on the candle. It shortens the waiting time. She says there is no time to wait. She says we are given the opportunity within one lifetime, just its span of time within that gate. She's saying to what? To revive and to make realized, to bring into our lives what within our hearts we hope to bring into it. She's saying, he is the sun glowing for my eye. She's saying, Andrea, you have sons. You know how... She says, you know the look in your eye when you see your sons. She's what she's referring to is that saying the crows are always the blackest. She says, mine is the brightest. My son is the brightest light from my eye. And I just don't want him to oversee or overlook or ill measure the gift of the time in the gates, in the human body gate, in the lifetime's gates. She says you've expressed that well, although she's like, she's saying it will flow over time. She's trusting that this may not all, most of it. She's saying I'm trusting that my message today for him will not all be brought to his awareness or be understood him. It may not make sense, she says. Go ahead. She's speaking of a shirt. It's a specific t-shirt. She says his shirt is red. A shirt many times he has put over his head, meaning put on. It skirts on barely being called red now, like as if it's faded. She's saying in my lifetime that shirt was long dead. But he continues, or he remains with his wearing of the dead, meaning it's some red shirt you just will not give up. I'd like to hear about that, Dustin or Christina, about the shirt. The shirt was red, she's saying. I have a few of those myself. I mean, my nice, put on something nice, right? Put on something nice. We're gonna go out. I would, Dustin. I would straight up. Nice to me are my favorite clothes. They're the ones with the holes in it, right? The faded ones. Until they get to the door and go, "What are you wearing?" Well, you said put something nice on. I don't know. She's approving of what the sentiment I'm trying to explain. She says together you both share the same ruling. That was hard to say. She says it really is for no one else to decide. She says, but she's very aware of your of your shirt. The one in her eyes when she was here, she would hope that you would hide from her. Go ahead. She says, I'm trusting that this will open his eye for it being me. Because I want so badly for my son to see his own divinity. Go ahead. And it be delivered from me. She's honored to be in the place where she's at in order to give you what it is that you're going to get out of this. I just love spirit. And funny, Dustin, I never met Haley. I don't even think that I've even heard her voice because we do chat. But I know Haley so well because when your mom comes and through through what she brings me, it's a whole lot more than what human words could ever tell you. Like, the downloads are extreme. And so I know Haley so well. Christina, I know her well too. It's very odd. And it is right at this moment that I'm understanding that I know you too. I don't feel like you're a stranger anymore, that's for sure. And maybe it's just because me and you, we choose to hang out in our rags, because they are our buttoned up, tied suit and shirt. Anything else, Mom? She went berserk at the birth of your son. He knew I he knew I wanted to go berserk. Go ahead. He held his hand. I'm not. I'm gonna assume that your mother was alive when your son was born. I'm hearing her say you were acting like a jerk. For him, for her being calm. He was afraid she would make some display that would embarrass him, or he just wanted his mom calm, she says. He, go ahead. I'm with you, Jessica. I'm just trying to find the penny slot. I don't know if she's saying he wasn't absent at that birth. She's trying to correct me. Something I said was wrong. Let me take a break. Hold on. Okay, what she's saying is that you're going to understand what that meant. Because my rational mind right now, Dustin, I'm thinking, is is he the dad of Christina's son? Was mom alive? Or was he even at the birth of the boy? Or my rational mind is trying to make sense of all of this, and your mom is she's going like this. Wash your hands of that. She says this carries for my son. He won't miss. Okay. Curious about that one too. She says I ceased and desist, meaning there was a moment when you pretty much he had given me signal to stay calmed down. I could see that. I mean, I could see that. That is the first he was being a father, she said. Oh, I'm just in the bliss of it, whatever it is. And now see, there's my brain. I want to know, is he the dad? Is he not? And I just can't get that, and so I gotta let that go, Dustin. I'm sorry. She says, in his essence, he has that of a father. One that will carry through the the generations. She's relieved to know that because you are there to instruct, that there will always be good fathers. He's a pretty solid guy then, is what I'm understanding. You're pretty solid. She's saying that word is not something that she wants to squander. The solidness of what he brings as a father. Beautiful. So you raised a man. She says, I taught him to walk, to stand. But she's giving you the credit for the wisdom and the growing and the solidness of being a man. That was awesome. Jessica, you're always welcome. You know that. I don't know what that was. That was a weird... Oh, that was my speaker. Sorry, guys. I got a new speaker and it just died, I guess. Anyway, Jessica. She says, I'm looking at a grown man. And for all the understanding of this, she's I don't know how to say that. For all of what she's bringing you, she wishes to be held solid in your hand. In other words, she wants you to get some of this. She says it's my biggest wish. She's bringing me to cry right now. Because she's saying there's only so much time on this dish, meaning this message. She's saying on this disc instead of dish. That's odd. But she's making sure that it's disc this time, not dish. I think we're done, right? She said, tell him that he has accomplished my biggest wish. Meaning she feels good, and now that message has been brought both of you. She's saying now it is an even dish. She's saying, I devour everything I see on his dish. But what she's saying is that she's always with you, and she is with you, and she sees everything. She knows everything that you do. Only this time she cannot volunteer to carry the dish for you. She knows you got to do that yourself, because she's not there to do it. Something like that. Anyways, more will be revealed from this, Dustin. She says in his own time, and now she's sending you a lei, a flower garland, and a kiss. And she knows that it won't miss. Well, thank you. She says this really is. A most gracious wish. Yeah. And now she's backing up so I can close. It's almost like she's trying to squeeze it. You know, I know it's never going to be. She always has more to say, but well, before you back away, make sure that you know that you're not going to have some regrets or wish you said this or wish you said that. Of course, I know better than that, Dustin. They know. They're so on top of all that. She's saying no kisses were missed. Well, that's awesome. All right. If Dustin, this disturbs you in any way, or something comes up for you that you want to expand on, or you know, it's just something that itches you that won't leave you alone about this, you're feel free to contact me, and I'll I'll bring her in to soften anything or to help you better understand something. Anyway, she's kissing her finger and putting it on your nose, and she's very confident that you've received everything. So, all right, thanks, guys.